You should not buy the cheap brushes. You can lose hair, cannot get enough water, so you become stressed. It is not a very good choice, especially for beginners. So it is really not necessary to spend your money on ready sets. Hi everyone, welcome to Artefacto School channel. My name is Inna Nagaitseva, and today we will talk about watercolor supplies which you need for having the best result in work with watercolor. Today I will give you a very important information about which supplies are the best for painting with watercolor. So watch this video till the end and hope you will like it. So let's start. The first important thing you should always remember about watercolor, you should have a 100% cotton paper. Why it is important? Because if you will choose a very cheap paper, it is a cellulose paper, you can find the sign, it is acid free, it is really very cheap, have a lot of sheets here, but unfortunately it is not will have you a good result, because cheap paper are drain fast, cannot take previous layers, so if you have a lot of layers in your style, if your technique, your previous layers will be smooth. So it is very important all the time to have 100% cotton paper. It doesn't matter really which you will use, cold press or hot press. The main thing, it should be 100% cotton. High quality watercolor paper will give you a 50% success with your work. Can have enough time for working with wet and wet technique. You can wet it again if it's dry, and it will not ruin your previous layer. So you should always remember about this. Watercolor paper typically selling in big sheets, which you can cut, or you can buy the similar pads. They are with protection here. So yes, different sizes, different brands, just the 100% cotton. Always remember about that. The next important thing is brushes. You should not buy the cheap brushes. Why? Because typically cheap brushes have a very hard synthetics. They do not have any natural hair, which we actually needed for working with watercolor. It is very hard, can ruin your paper, and also typically the cheap brushes all the time losing the hair while you're painting. While you're working with the cheap brushes, you can lose hair, cannot get enough water, so you become stressed and you will not have success with your painting. That's why I highly recommend to use a high quality brushes. Yes, they are more expensive than cheap brushes, but believe me, you can buy one high quality brush and this brush will be with you for years. I have one brush which I use more than 5 years and it is still like new. So which brushes I highly recommend to use with watercolor? I recommend to have something big with natural hair for big washes, something medium or with a sharp tip, any round brush. Can be synthetic, can be mix of synthetic and natural hair. The most important thing is that you can make with these brushes middle strokes and sometimes details too. And of course, we will need some synthetic brush for details. Should be a round brush with a sharp tip. Can be for acrylic or oil, doesn't matter. In this case, doesn't matter. But these two are very important, especially with the big brush, because when you're trying to take a lot of paints and a lot of water for filling the big space, you cannot do this with these brushes. So all the time remember to use a natural hair for big washes, and for the rest you can use a synthetic brush. I highly recommend to use a brand Silver brush because they really have a high quality, and these 3 brushes will be perfect for beginner. I would like to invite you to our free loose watercolor bootcamp with Nicholas Tobias. In this bootcamp you will learn a lot of different watercolor techniques, how to mix colors, how to simplify difficult objects. Also, here is a lot of information about watercolor art in history, and also Nicholas will show you how to fix mistakes if you have some. So go to the link under this video or on the right corner of this video and feel free to register. Hurry up! Thank you! The last important thing are paints. You can find a lot of different sets in art supplies stores. They all look beautiful, they all cost not cheap, and they have a lot of paints inside. It is not a very good choice, especially for beginners, because typically beginners do not know how to mix colors, how to use them. They do not understand why they need 24 or 36 paints. Also, I do not recommend to buy the sets, because if you will need to fill the big space on your paper and you will use a big brush, you will not get enough paints from these small squares. So and also it is very dry here. So what we should do with paints? Typically different brands have the samples like this with some kind of paints which you can try on this paper or on your paper. You can buy an empty metal or plastic palette. You can buy some tubes, white tubes, because when you squeeze from the tube your paint, it will be very fresh and will give you a very bright color. It is much better than using ready sets. So you can buy some regular colors like yellow, orange, red, blue, green, brown, and something dark, and that's it. You will really not need more. And after that, after you starting to learn, after you starting to explore more colors, more different paints, you can choose which one you like more. So it is really not necessary to spend your money on ready sets. So this is 3 main important things about watercolor supplies. Good paints, high quality paper, and high quality brushes will give you a huge success in learning watercolor. All the time remember to have a high quality supply. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this video was very helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe to Artefacto School channel for learning more about watercolor and other materials. Hope to see you again. Bye.